And Jesus said, Ye shall receive power. After that the Holy Ghost is come upon you. And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem, and in all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth. Welcome to today's program. It's really supernatural. Acts of the Holy Spirit. I'm your host, Henry Schaefer. I believe in the supernatural, and God is on the move in these last days. Let's move into the program. Welcome to today's another chapter. It's really could be written in the book of Acts. Well, hello and welcome, CSR. Welcome to another episode of It's Really Supernatural. I'm your host, Henry Schaefer, and I want to welcome to a live edition. It is now Friday. Anybody know?
The 13th.
The 13th. And you know, we're not superstitious here. We did a program last time where we're live and on the radio, but we're not superstitious at all. Thank you so much for tuning in, being part of what we're going to do here tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves here while I get us live and on Facebook. Go ahead, is around the table here.
JFK is in the house on Friday the 13th.
Bill Turner.
And Dana Turner. I'm glad to be here. It's been a few weeks since we've done a program. I'm excited about tonight's program.
I am excited too. I know that we hadn't done a live show here in a bit, so I think when we come together, we kind of look at each other and say,
What's going
on?
We're going to get it done tonight.
That's
And
exactly
this
right.
is actually my late father's birthday, Bill Turner
That's
Sr.
right. It sure is.
Yeah, it's his birthday today.
It's his birthday. You know, I'm excited about. I watched those 3 videos Pastor sent us to
Talk about
to study. You know, up on those, and
we're going to talk about what 3 words tonight. It's going to be one of them.
Number
Right.
one, I like the lady and the way she does it. She
Yeah.
just puts it out there, and I enjoyed the video.
And then we're going to talk about your national ID. And then, what is it called? Technocracy?
Yeah,
Is that
technocracy.
technocracy. So we're going to kind of enlighten our studio audience here a little bit here tonight. And while you're doing that, I got to get this thing on pause right here so that I can get this thing here
get it going. Okay.
Yeah, so I can get this. There we go. I got it volume down. All right, go ahead now, everybody.
All right.
Are you going to tune in to us tonight?
Tell us how they're going to get us, y'all.
Well,
You go to Facebook at Henry Schaefer. You can go to 99.9 FM on your radio dial, or you can go to, the way I do it, CW Cries at
.com
live.
or WCC999.com.
Listen live.
And but we got a good show tonight, and so those of you that are watching on Facebook,
Please share.
go ahead and share this video, because this is some information that you don't want the people to miss. I had no idea whenever I was watching these videos any of this stuff was going on.
And if you're friends of mine on Facebook, I've already shared it, so you can share it on my, share it from my page too.
Yeah, so listen up, because it's going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to be showing any videos tonight, or we're just going to be talking about it. But it's a lot of stuff going on, folks, that, to me, is a little bit scary.
Yeah, and it's not conspiracy theory type stuff.
This is real stuff that's going
actual
on
stuff that exists.
right now.
It's coming. There's no doubt about it. It's coming.
When I was watching the videos the other day, I was taking notes, because I thought, wow, I want to remember some of this stuff, some of the highlights and stuff on the videos. That what 3 words thing kind of messed me up.
Yeah,
that's
just,
and
it's volunteered, and it's volunteer, and if you look on the App Store, they've got like 3,000 people already volunteered.
And it's
for
what? The number 3 and words.
Yeah, what 3 words?
And you can go to that, and you can download an app to your phone or iPad or whatever, and then it tells you how you can find what your 3 words are.
Yeah, they broke
in
up
whatever square you're in.
Yeah, they put a 10-foot square over the whole world, everywhere. They cut it off in like 10-foot squares. You just hover over it, and it'll tell you what 3 words. So, say I was at Walmart, and I looked it up, and where I was standing, it's Larry, Moe, and Curly. I would text you and say, "Hey, Gerald, I'm at Larry, Moe, and Curly."
And then bring you right to him.
Yeah, within 10 feet. 10-foot square.
You would be there. And, you think about that, though, but you think about all the things in your home that are smart now and able to do all these kind of things. And I'm like.
And if it's on the internet, it's talking to somebody at all times.
I saw a commercial the other day where there was a refrigerator that was telling these people what they were out of in the refrigerator. And it was like it was making a grocery list for them. I mean, what
Yeah.
in the world?
I think it would text the person. Say,
or
hey,
something. It's just all kind of crazy stuff. But this is real things that are going on. This
Yeah.
isn't just make believe and out there somewhere like you used to think. Oh, this is just a conspiracy theory that things are happening. No, this is real stuff that's going on.
Well,
And this real ID, I don't like that at all.
Right.
Well, that 3-word thing either. Now, of course, they say it's for when we have a disaster. But the way I look at it, if we have a disaster that's truly a disaster, I mean, cell phones aren't going to be working.
Right.
And that thing ain't going to be working. So why we need that for a disaster when it's not going to be working when we have a disaster?
Yeah.
And people are just raising their hand. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I just found out that people now you can get your new driver's license. You can go ahead and get the real ID. South Carolina is in compliance. The
Right.
state of South Carolina is in compliance with
It's
this.
a star with a circle in the
Yeah.
right-hand corner. That lets you know you
And-
have a new ID.
That you have a
Or
new
real
ID.
ID.
You were on the federal
Registry.
registry
Right.
with facial recognition.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be good.
And so, but here's the thing: without that, you can't go into a federal building. So does that mean a post office?
Post if they label it as so.
But if you have to show an ID to get something at the post office, like registered letter, they're going to say no, you can't receive.
You're not
it. Sorry.
registered. Yeah, isn't that
let's-
messed up?
Yeah. So let's pick this up here. So when we're talking about, it's really supernatural tonight. We're going to talk about certainly, like we already said, we're going to talk about 3 things. One's going to be a nationalized ID. Mm-hmm. Okay, and if we tell people go ahead and pull your ID out now, look at the top right hand corner.
Right.
If you have a round circle with a star in it, you already have the
Yeah.
national ID.
I've got
federal.
your picture already.
Your picture is already digitized
Right.
into the federal system. That means when if you go through the airports, or it doesn't really matter anywhere now that they have
Cameras everywhere.
cameras everywhere, and they turn it on, that they can pick you out of a crowd. If they
Right.
get your face and lock in on the parameters on your face, they already know who you are.
Yeah.
That star on that card that you have lets them know it's already been digitized. And then, and we're going to discuss more about that. We may run the video on it as well. But then we also came across a video that was sent to us about what 3 words. And you've been telling us,
Yeah.
explaining to us about what 3 words. And of course, that website you go to called, what is it called? What 3 words? And
What 3 words?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So now the thing is, if you want to know which one to download off of the App Store, it's a round circle with 3 slashes in it leaning to the right.
Right.
That's not backslash, but forward slash.
Don't download it, though.
Oh, yeah, I already got it on my phone. I already tried it out.
Oh, they
Yeah.
know where you at,
Yeah,
Pastor.
they know. Well, they already know where I'm at anyway.
Right.
Yeah, they know right where we're at. So, anyway, I'm going to turn it on here in a minute. So, anyway, so it's a round circle with 3 slashes leading to the right. That's what 3 words. And it's what, and it's the number 3, like
Right.
you told me. No, don't spell out 3.
All right. just
It's the
put
number
3.
3 words. And that is where the United Nations have did a grid map across the world and laid it out in 10-foot squares. And it's funded, well, one of the funders is
United Nations is one of the funders, right.
funders
Yeah.
have done that. So it's a 10-foot square. And so what I look at is your home has been labeled with 3 words. So I want to run this video here, then we're going to come back and we're going to pick it up. Okay, and talk about it. We're going to maybe scrub through the video here and
Right.
see what we got.
But you know something, Pastor?
Go
Here,
ahead.
this is called the Real ID Act. It was passed in 2005.
Yeah. So the reason why we're going to talk about these together about the Real ID Act, and we'll go ahead and put it together at the beginning and let you know why we're talking about it. When you put this together, the Real ID Act was in 2005. Has to be completed by 2020, and I think like 75% of the states have already done it. If they haven't already done it, they have already filed for an extension, but they're well on their way of getting
Right.
it done. Okay, so my license don't have to be renewed until 2025 or something like that. I can't remember how far out I got my
Mine's
license.
2020.
So mine's way out there, but before then, I'll have to have it this ID done, and of course I just got a passport, just updated
Right.
my passport. So they'll get it all. They'll get all that then when I send my picture into that passport.
They'll have your
They'll have
information.
it because it's a certain way your picture has to be done to get that passport picture, and they say, yeah, we got him too. He does, his card might not have a star on it, but we got him.
But, and they're also saying, that's what I was asking Jason and them, that this real ID that you get takes the place of a passport as far as going to Mexico and Canada.
Because it will let you know that you're in the database system. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And they already got the information. So when you go in, Jason said you have to take your social security card, your birth certificate. I mean, wow.
Shot records.
It's just like going in to get a passport.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we just had ours done. Because I'm going to tell them why. Can I tell them why?
Tell them why.
Okay, hold on a minute. I just got my mic real close to me. The reason why we just got our passport done, I am going to be going to Belize. And going to Belize to go to the Mayan group that's there. I had an opportunity. And I'll be leaving in August. Okay. August the 6th through the 16th. We'll be going to Belize. And we're flying down, so I had to get my passport. My passport actually expires in August of this year. And I've only used it like once, it's a 10-year thing. And I only used it once and went to Mexico. And now I said, okay, I'm going to go to Belize. And through Pastor David Barkley of the Rivergate Church there in Knoxville, has an open door, invited the Spiritual Freedom Network to go to Belize to enhance deliverance and start taking the deliverance ministry there. So it'll be going there to help them establish the footprint there. They've already been doing deliverance there. And it's about 80 miles south of Belize International Airport, where we're going. And, they got a car, they got a truck and all the stuff. I mean, it's like... Is
it summertime down there?
It's summertime down there. And it's like when he says, when you come down, make sure that you bring your bathing shorts and stuff like that. You wash in a river. That's how you take your bath. I mean, this is how they do everything where we're going. I'm going, really?
So Sister Schaefer's not going.
Oh, she's not going.
Oh, no, you can't plug up hot rollers. She ain't going. No, I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, and if you get a kidney stone, and that hair of hers ain't done, that you're going to wait till that curling iron gets hot and the rollers get in before you go into the hospital.
Been there, done that too.
I know that. So anyway, going to the Belize, I got my passport redone. Just got it redone, and I'm going. You would think that if you're redoing your passport,
you wouldn't need anything.
You wouldn't need all that stuff, but it's just like
doing it the first time.
It's just like doing it the first time. You're going down. You're going to have to get your picture redone again because it's 10 years different.
Well,
and you get your picture done. You got to get all your information done. I had to take my birth certificate down there, driver's license down there. But here's the one thing I got to say about that is that to get out of this country, I can't hardly get out. You can't hardly get out of this. You ain't getting out without a passport.
A lot of people getting in.
But I'm telling you what, to come across that southern border, you ain't got to have nothing.
Right.
But you can't get out.
Oh, and something else with this real ID that really struck me is that you don't have to have it to vote.
Oh, yeah, that was something good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you got to have it for everything else federal.
You can't even get in the federal building. I wonder how they're going to get in the federal building to vote then.
I want to know how they're going to be on jury duty for the federals, during federal court.
Interesting.
If you can vote, that's where they get the jury from.
Well, from what I've been seeing up there,
registration.
Seeing up there in the government, they're going to have a lot of blank. They're going to have a lot of open positions in the government for along.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I don't know. So anyway, so that's what we're talking about. And going to Belize. Let me get back to Belize. If we're going to Belize and anybody wants to help me get to Belize to do missions trip, it costs a lot of money to go to Belize. So you can go fund. No, I guess what they can do, you go to WCC 999, and when you go in there and hit the other button, say Belize in there. We're sending the pastor down to Belize. Pastor to Belize.
Yeah, you need to start your GoFundMe page.
I do, don't I? I was going to ask Dana, how does she do that GoFundMe page? No, not a GoFundMe page, my PayPal page. Me, PayPal me.
PayPal.me.
PayPal.me. So you can put it straight in so I can go to Belize. It's a lot of money I'm talking about. I'm going to drive from here to Nashville to get on a plane to save over $500.
I don't blame you.
Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, to say, so we're not doing the expensive route.
Right.
And I'm going, how narrow are these seats? You don't even get to pick the seat. You get to sit in the back.
How much gas does it take to drive to Nashville and back?
Not $500. You can go
A couple
across
hundred
country.
easy, right?
Well, yeah. So somebody can fund me on that.
If you go ahead and make a donation of $500, we'll go ahead and buy his ticket from there to
Oh my
Nashville.
goodness.
Now,
So
is it
anyway.
a straight shot from Nashville, or do you have to land in
This
Dallas?
is crazy. You go from Nashville to Atlanta. You go from Atlanta then to Belize.
Oh, so you could just drive to Atlanta and wait on them.
If you go to Atlanta, drive from here to Atlanta to get down there, it's $500 more. If you drive from here to Nashville, it's $500 less.
Really?
It's crazy, isn't it?
It
you
is
must have
crazy.
did some serious shopping.
That must be from the government, I guess. I don't know.
That's
Did you
it.
find you did some serious shopping? You find one of those low cost air deals?
That's how you do it.
Well, now, if we have any
That's
local,
some Common Core air deals.
if we have any local pilots,
They want to fly me to Nashville.
no, that you want to fly him all the way to Belize.
Ooh, that's the way to do it
Yeah.
right there.
Right?
That's what I'm talking
I ain't
about.
parachuting out though.
There's plenty of people in Aiken that own
But you know
private
what
jets.
I did? You know
Come
what?
on.
What is so strange about going down there is because we're going to get to talk about this later on. Is they said we don't have much electricity. We don't have this. We don't have that. But one of the first things we put in while we were down there in the little 5-acre plot that they got to build the mission and everything. And we're talking about building this mission house
Right.
to do all this stuff with. It's not like
Right.
it's already established.
Right.
We're going in to
build.
washing the river, right? And going down to the Mayans. Now they've already done some deliverance in the Mayans, and what we talk about here, pride and arrogance and all this kind of stuff. When you get into that culture, you have to start calling out the gods, Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
You have to start calling out the demons and all that in that culture, and they're talking about this. This is amazing. Anyway, we're going to go down there. Yeah, we're going to write a book one day. Got to have a chapter, Belize.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Got to
right.
have a chapter in it. Got to have something in it.
Yeah, because this part of Belize that you're going is unpopulated, I'm assuming.
Yep, that's it.
Slim, because
It's
I know
not the
I know parts,
tourist part
right,
that
I
you
know,
don't go
tourist
to on their
part.
honeymoon.
because I know parts of Belize are very luxurious, very beautiful.
Yeah,
that
resorts and stuff.
a lot of U.S. citizens have actually gone down there and retired.
Yeah.
So,
So go fund me. Go to WCC 999. Go to the little. I want to donate. Say Belize on there. You can do the other type of little thing in Belize. Pastor going. But let's get back to the national
Yeah.
ID
Okay.
because what we're talking about is a national ID, and then we're talking about and we've give some information about how the national ID is coming.
Right.
And it's already passed, and it's already happening to you on your license. You don't even realize what's going on. So you're already in their database system. That means your face has already been digitized. They can point you out. If you're at a red light, those cameras that are at the red lights looking, they can get your tag when you're speeding across at 100 mile an hour. Whew, they get your tag.
satellites.
Satellites can get
People
you.
don't realize satellites. They can zoom in and they can see what you're eating after you pull out the drive-through.
Really?
Yes, really.
Isn't that something? That's the McDonald's verification, man, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
They're gonna text you and say, "Hey, your
Did you
cholesterol's
like it?"
too high." Your
So this
cholesterol's
one
too
here
high.
is by Lisa Haven. She put it up about a week ago. It's about your home has been labeled with 3 words. Now, the national ID, I'm thinking about why are they doing the national ID? And then why is this video coming out? Your home has been labeled with 3 words. Find out what 3 words they've pinned to your home. So where you're sitting there listening to me at right now, you have already been documented with 3 words. And you can go down and download this app, and it'll tell you those 3 words. I got it on my phone. I did. I said, I got to see this thing. So let's listen to what Lisa has to say here. With she's got a friend on here. So we're going to run this here for a moment. See if I can get it up here.
Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I have with me Justice Knight, who is a fellow YouTuber that focuses on some of the technology and the corruption that is happening within technology. But I wanted to bring him on my show because he came across, well, a huge discovery that literally dropped my jaw to the floor, and I'm like, I have to bring you on now because this is huge. But what we're about to divulge, I encourage you to share it with everyone you know because things aren't going to be the same once you hear it, but it is a creepy, literally Orwellian sort of GPS tracking system, but it goes a step further and it labels people with 3 words. And I'll let him tell you that. But there are some words that we discovered when we hung our cursor over the White House. well, that are going to send chills up your spine. So tell us, what is this website for starters, and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the name, as you mentioned, was What 3 Words. And, you know, some of us have morning coffee and breakfast. Some of us look at tech articles all morning. And some things you like to find, some things you don't. What happens here is basically the programmers of this website has taken the entire globe, and they've broken the globe into 10-foot squares. So imagine a grid of 10-foot squares around the entire world. Well, each 10-foot square they assigned 3 dictionary words to. And it was a new sort of GPS. Normally you did GPS with numbers or coordinates. This does it with 3 words. So if I wanted, and I was located, let's say I went to a concert and I wanted you to find me, I could send you to 3 words that this application puts up on my phone. Let's say it was bear, brown, cow. That's my 3 words. I would simply text you those 3 words. You would put it into my 3-word program, and it would come across as bear, brown, cow, and take you right to where I'm at. Now that's creepy in itself, because now you've limited the data set down to a 10-foot square, where before, if you ordered, let's say, an Uber, it would say meet me at the front or maybe the back door. That was about as close as it can get. Well, now that Uber can drive up and probably hit you right in the calf, because that's how close that this technology goes. Well, that was kind of enough. So of course, when I see that, I dig in right away like you would, and I start to explore it more. Who owns it? What's the application work? Put it onto my phone, checked out my own GPS coordinates, and I was amazed. As I walked around my house, the coordinates were changing by every room I walked into with 3 different sets of words. That's scary stuff, because now somebody not only knows where my house is at, but technically which room of the house I'm in. That's where this technology gets off kilter. So now I want to look at some national landmarks, and I want to see how they labeled those, because you always go to your big, you always go to your centerpieces.
Yeah.
Centerpiece I picked here was the White House. And we can kind of jump from there into what we found.
Absolutely. But what I want to share first is I did a little separate research into it. And what I found was this. I'm going to throw up on the screen. Here's a picture of the original website. When you go to it, that is kind of what you'll find. But if you scroll down to the bottom there, you'll see this little logo, which you all will recognize. And that is the United Nations logo. So they're one of the supporters, one of the power people, but they are part of the people providing services to this website, which made my alarm bells go way high. But if you click on the little UN logo there, it brings up this page, United Nations Disaster Reporting App and What 3 Words. Now underneath it says UN Assign is a free crowdsourcing app developed for the United Nations by ANSUR Technologies in Norway. And it goes on to talk about how it's used in natural disasters and all of that. But if you click on the UN Assign, it brings up this other website, linked obviously and on the United Nations, where it kind of gives a little more detail on UN Assign. But UN Assign Crowd is a free application offered by UNOSAT to the humanitarian community to facilitate the collection of photos, assessments, and geolocated text messages in the field. And they tend to work in areas that have a little less or not comparable to our internet services, where their bandwidth is not as good as it is here in America. Now, you could say there's good things to this, like, you know, in the event of some kind of crisis, you need to find somebody. Great, might be a good thing to use, considering all the internet is up to par. Yes. You know, there's always that. So there is a good side to that, but is that a price that we need to pay in order for this Orwellian style technology that can, in the wrong hands, be used against us? So something to think about. I always err on the side of my freedom and my privacy. So that's a big issue for me. But what I found kind of scary is, or not scary, but just unusual and weird, is what he found under the White House, or on the White House. I'll let him tell you about that, and we'll throw it all up on the screen for you.
So we're going to start on the first one, which is kind of funny. It says Deeper Judge Factories. With all the talk in the Supreme Court lately, I'm like, oh, cool. But, you know, this was obviously designed well before then. But I wanted to dive into the Oval Office. Let's take the most significant room in the White House, and let's see how they termed it. And you'll see it's broken into several squares. Again, you can see the diagram there. And right at the top of the Oval Office, what do I see? Quick, wicked foam.
Wicked. I don't know about that word in the Oval Office, but okay.
So exactly the same way I was. I'm like, coincidence. And then you have Buddy, Skin, Gay. Again, nothing too bad. But then you drop down into, and I saw Legend, Sorry, Brain. Well, okay.
Wicked, sorry, brain. Probably not words you should use in the Oval Office.
And you think that's bad, just wait. As we move down, and here's the ones that just made my hair stand on end. Shot, soak, wonderfully. Why would you put the word shot wonderfully in the Oval Office?
That's not a good combination, I'm just saying, especially in the corner of the West Wing.
Yes, and again,
But maybe it's just coincidence.
it's a randomizer, right? And then you see the randomizer hits pill hung during.
So he's taken pills, hung during some event.
During what? The presidency? I mean, why would you, out of all the words you could choose to pick? And so we just kind of went over a little bit further and looking what else happened. You go out of the Oval Office slightly and you're going to find sudden donor spike.
Just plain words. Or,
Yeah.
there is some good ones in there too. And maybe lock reward area. Not sure if those are positives, but... or love boil rate. I guess there are some good words in there. I only found about 2 in just the Oval Office. So love and reward, the rest are nonchalant names. But then you have the little bit more questionable ones, I will say, that are like shot, hung, pill, wicked, sorry
Brain.
There was even an activist one in there, just kind of like I don't know if that's the right idea to associate with the White House, but they are linked to the UN, and the United Nations doesn't necessarily like a nationalist president. So
Yeah, but again, when you're studying this technology, some things could be coincidence, some things could be happenstance, other things could be, it's a tough line to draw. It's just all I do is simply point out the anomalies that you'll find in this technology, and it's kind of for everybody else to make their determination from.
Yep, I agree. So ultimately, the decision is yours. Is that a little strange? Should it have used different words? I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence, or, who knows? Maybe they're on the left and they're staunch Democrats. Who knows? Nobody knows. But either way, I just thought I'd bring it to your attention because this is an Orwellian program. That's the bottom line. And I'm not so comfortable with having something track me every 10 feet. Imagine what can be done in the wrong hands with a program like that. But ultimately, the decision is yours. Anyhow, will you share your information where they can check you out at, maybe any of that stuff?
Of course, yeah. Just go to YouTube and type in Justice Knight, Justus, space KNIGHT, and I'll appear. You'll recognize my mug right up there. And please, if you could, and you enjoyed these articles, please subscribe.
Yes. So I'll leave all the information on that below. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning into my channel, and please don't forget to check out my partner at My Patriot Supply. I have a link below, preparewithlisa.com. They've got lots of food storage options on there as well. Well, thanks again for tuning in. This is Lisa Haven, and that was Justice Knight signing out.
All right. Well, There you have it. So what are you thinking about that, everybody?
Scary.
So here's the things that I see when I look at something like this going on. I think about my 3 words, and when I think about what can that be used for, and in this here, so I started just letting it run through my mind, because I've got a scripture here in Revelation chapter 13, and in Revelation chapter 13 it talks about, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which they had wound by a sword, and did live. And he gave power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the beast, that they should be killed. Now you got to realize this here, is that we're talking about an image, some type of an image, but somehow he's going to kill those who does not worship the image. And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might be able to buy or sell, he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the name. Here is wisdom, let them hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of the man, and it is 666. So it's 666. So there's three numbers. Here we have 3 letters, 3 words.
3 words.
That can identify you with. So how would this play out? I see it like this here. First of all, here's what they say. They say this is used for a humanitarian aid. So like if I was in Belize, and they do have GPS. You have GPS,
right.
Satellite tracking and different things that they can do stuff with, so that you could go there and say, with this app, you could say, I have, this is where I am at with these 3 words. You find me. Okay, this is where I'm at, very simply. I'm not doing north, south, east, west coordinates. There is no street address.
Right.
So you got to realize, if it's just like when we went down to Katrina back, I guess it was back, I can't remember when it was when we went to Katrina, 2003, 4, 5, I don't remember when it was. Went to Katrina. But when we went down there, as soon as we got off the roadway, there were no street signs. And GPS was not like it is today. It was just like just coming out.
Right.
And so when we got off, streets are gone, and you go down so many blocks, take a right, this is where you're going to see us at. And if you don't, I mean, this is not the area you're from. And there were people down there who did have GPS, and they were able to coordinate with other people to get stuff there through the government, through the GPS that they had. Well, this would be the place of it, to where you could tell a person within 10 feet, this is where I'm at. On this app, you can find me within 10 feet, get here. So I started looking, I said, well, that makes a lot of sense to be able to do things like that. But I think it could be more nefarious with things like this, is that here's a person who does not want to comply.
Right.
And the thing is that you have the mobile phone in your hand, and the person that's trying to get away is in the room with you. And all you have to do is say, I am located at Brown Red Fox. And I got Dana Turner sitting right here in front of me. Now they know, as long as I'm there with Dana, they know where Dana's at.
Right, right.
And the thing is so much, it is going to be so much of a locator to be able to locate an individual down to the 10 foot. I mean, I am in a crowd of 1,000 people. And the person you've been looking for, I've got them right here. And before I even called to let you know, I'm calling the authorities with these 3 words. This is where I'm at on this map, on this system.
So I thought it was interesting that you have that app on your phone. You put it on your phone to see, and you put your location.
Oh, I did.
So yeah, so it's got your location here at the radio station with your 3 words.
Yeah. See if I can get it here.
See if you can get that up so we can share with them what your 3 words were. I thought that was interesting.
Something judo.
It was monitor. I can't remember now. He's gonna look it up.
Last one was judo.
I thought that was pretty interesting. Monitor. So we're here in the radio station.
I wonder if they could adapt this to like a missile.
I mean,
Locator
really?
and a missile. You know?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
10 foot's close enough to kill anybody with a smart bomb.
So I mean, it's got on the app. You can see it's got him
Ooh,
located.
look
right
at this here. Y'all can see the squares.
You can see the squares. The 10-foot squares.
Survivors, adored, whoever.
Now you've moved it.
Yeah. Disappointed, funded, magnet.
Put it back on where you were at the radio.
Schoolwork. Provoked, suspended. Stage, cascading goat.
So what he's doing, guys, for those of you that are listening, he's got this app on his phone and he's just moving it around, and it's giving the 3 words for each square.
For your location.
For the location, that's it. So if we're going to go over, say, to Joe's Bar and Grill.
Across the street.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going to drop it right on them.
Okay.
Carp, retain, improve. Carp, C-A-R-P, retrain, improve. So, yeah, you can. Survivors, adored, whoever.
Wow. Okay.
That's us.
Yeah. I mean, to me, this is pretty interesting.
So here you go, y'all. You can see the 10 squares. See the squares right there? Let's put it. Am I still on that video right there?
Let's see. Let me find you on this thing.
Yeah, because I'm going to blow the squares up on it so they can see it.
I'm trying to find the right one, Pastor. Hold on. There it is.
Is that us right here?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to see it or not. Let's zoom on in. There you go. That's it.
Y'all see the squares on
It's
that
all
thing?
in a 10 foot by 10 foot square grid.
And you see the 3 words there at the bottom.
What does it say on those 3 words?
User, weeping, diminish.
Uh-oh.
And so and then if you move it and it changes the words to your location. So right there with the blue dot, Pastor, put it on
that's in the middle. I guess that's who they're saying we are right there. Let's put it right on the blue dot.
Let's put it on the blue dot. Or close enough.
Taster, Neglect Studios.
Studios.
Right,
That's
right.
crazy. Monitors Prosper Judo.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
the one. That was that first one.
Trek Toasting Humanist.
Huh.
Suffer Clinking Fairness.
So any of these squares that can bring you within 10 feet
Of that dot.
Which is
of the dot.
a killing zone.
Right. That's just
So
amazing.
the amazing part of it is got the what 3 words is that again it would be like I can see where this could be used if you were out lost somewhere and say this is where I'm at. And the thing is, all you got to do is tell someone, do you have a Wi-Fi signal? Yeah. Download this app.
All right, quick.
Do
Tell
it
me
quick.
what words say.
What 3 words? You download it, click, pop it up. It says what 3 words are at the bottom of the screen.
and that'll tell us
And
how
that
to
would
get
tell us
you.
exactly where you're at. And we load the map, we load it up, we know exactly where you're at.
So it could be very good.
Very good. But the part of it is, that's why I read that part in Revelation 13, where it talks about he causes all that does not worship the beast. He kills them, takes them and kills them. And that's exactly where a lot of this technology is going to go, is that once the beast takes control of the system, whether it be through the national ID, remember, and I think that's one part about the national ID part is this here, is that I don't think there's, everybody wants the federal government to take control over them and to do things, and that's I guess the biggest difference between Democrats and Republicans is this is 7th grade civics. I'm going all the way back to 7th grade. Let's do the 7th grade civics. If you get one of those 7th grade civics books, y'all, and just read them, you'd come out like, man, you'd be like a genius.
Well, they probably already burned them all.
Yeah.
Probably.
So the 7th grade civics thing is this here, is that Democrats believe in more government and in everything being done on a federalized level. Take a lot of the rights from the states' right, and you want to let the federal government take care of everything, health care, national ID, all your Social Security, all of this stuff, everything in a federal level. And Republicans say, no, we don't want a big government. You want to take all of that stuff and let it be in the local state. Let the power push back to the states. The states are the closest to the people, huh? And so we want everybody, you want to live in a state that you would like to live in that takes care of the people this way. Once you federalize everything, it don't matter where you live. And when I say that, it doesn't matter whether once you federalize everything on a national level, it doesn't matter whether you live in Canada or Mexico,
Right.
or the U.S., you're all a citizen of North America.
See, I was thinking on a scale of like, just say you're not wanting to be compliant with whatever's going on, and you're trying to stay under the radar.
Yeah.
And you've had to register with this federal ID, and your facial recognition and all that. And say a street lamp catches your face, and it sends it and says this was her last known place, and she's at Monkey Street, whatever. That was you know what I'm saying? And then they say, okay, well, she was there, 10 minutes ago. So now let's turn these cameras on and see if we can find. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's
right.
like you won't be able to hide,
Can't hide.
because I think they'll merge those kind of systems where they find your face and then they can find your location within a 10-foot square.
Yeah, but they'll just do that to criminals.
Right. Okay. But I mean, you think about that.
Or terrorists.
Yeah,
Or terrorists. Mhm.
Yeah, let's do it for terrorists.
Right.
Terrorists.
Or so-called terrorists.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that was what
Enemies of the state.
that was one of the things that Bill and Dana made a good point about, is that this national ID is for Henry Schaefer to get out of the country. But if I get in Belize and lose my ID and I can't get back, I can just make it up through Guatemala. I think
Right.
Guatemala's below it, but you can just make you trek up through.
Just send me them 3 words, Pastor. I'll come get you.
You'll come get me.
Yeah, I'll
You
come
zoom
get
right on in on me.
That's right.
So, you can come in through the southern border and bring a baby on your hip.
Right.
All I know, I was in the military, and it seems to me like the GPS that was made for military.
Yeah.
And I think this is too. That's why I said the killing zone. I think they're gonna just claim it for the military when the time comes, and they'll be able to
do it.
do what they have to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the United Nations has something to do with it,
You know
Right.
it's not good.
yeah.
Especially not good for
you know.
a republic.
Well, let's do this here. Go ahead and download this app, and then you have to acknowledge, we are using cookies, and cookies means that they are tracking. They know who did when they. Some people who don't understand what cookies are, when you go into a website, is that, and then when you go back to that website, you go, how did it know? How did it know what I looked for last time and all? It's because the computer apps puts small files on your computer. And it knows when you return what you looked at and everything, and it can take you right straight to those pages. Those are cookies. So they know who you are. That's the way they do with a lot of these apps that's on your phone. When you acknowledge, I need access to this, all your contacts, your location, and all those are like little trackers, little cookies that they're putting on there. And there's other names for them, but that's the simple name. And they can tell you when the last time you was here. Oh, here they come again.
Right.
And of course, when by giving them access to certain things on your phones or your computers, that they're downloading this word. I keep hearing this word, nefarious. They're putting some very destructive programs on the backside of it, where they can go in there and get your files. They can get your passwords. I mean, they did this to the DNC.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And they got all these people's emails and all this kind of stuff. They got some people's emails. They didn't get Hillary's, but they got some of them.
Right.
Other emails, but not those.
Well, Pastor, I was thinking about that kind of stuff, and then I think about, we were talking about this one day, your iPhone, it comes up and it says, I'm walking out of my garage to get my car, and it says, you are 14 minutes to North Augusta, and I'm thinking, how do you know I'm going to North Augusta today?
Right.
And I'm on my way to work, to the shop, you know what I mean?
But that happens to us when we leave out of here.
Right.
It says 22 minutes to the house. So
Right.
You're home. Hey, how do you know I'm going home?
Right.
We've watched you enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We know.
We know where you're
And
going to be at.
so, talking about that and the Real ID, they were talking about checkpoints and the lawless police force and how
talk
Trump
about
announces plans to federalize the police
Talk
force.
about the checkpoints throughout North America.
With your little ID.
Where you're going from South Carolina to Georgia. To where they'll just have, like these way stations.
Right. For trucks.
It's just
been doing it for years.
Yeah, it's just, this is your checkpoint now for.
Just come on in.
Yeah,
we just want to see your ID.
I'll never forget coming back from Iowa years ago. You had all these these places where you pull in, supposed to check your trucks and all the stuff. Here I am with a 22-foot U-Haul, and I'm towing a truck behind it, and they're going, well, if I'm supposed to pull in there, they'll chase me down because I ain't stopping.
Right.
I just kept on going. I guess they're saying he's from Georgia. He don't know what's going on.
Right.
But I never pulled in any of those things.
I don't blame you.
But those kind of things they were talking about on the video of the Real IDs, that was really good because they showed that in the old movie, where it was asking for your papers.
Your papers.
Your
yeah.
papers have expired,
Show me your papers.
Your
and then
papers expired 3 weeks ago.
And he took
They
off
shot
running
him
and
up.
they shot him.
They shot him. Yeah.
So it says to remove the power actually from the states and federalize it.
Yeah, that's one thing that Trump was talking about was federalizing. Now watch this here, federalizing local police forces. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't think people realize how much power a sheriff has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they realize how much power we gave them with the after 2011 with the Homeland
Security Acts and all that stuff.
I mean, we gave away so many freedoms to be safer. It's just.
Well, what was that? It
bad.
said on the video. It said absolute power absolutely corrupts.
Right. So I think mayors, when they look at the local structure of how powerful mayors are, and how powerful the sheriff is. I mean, the sheriff
over the whole county.
Yeah. So the sheriff, he's pretty powerful, and he's just not no wimp.
All right.
And but so now what they're talking about is taking from your local area, letting it be federalized, and now it becomes part of the federal government. And again, that's just one more step into having, a national security force. But look here, it's just we say, well, it's okay, and it could be all federalized, and we could get all the equipment. Yes, I understand that, but when the United Nations takes over, y'all, it's already in place,
right?
And that's the step.
And
it's
we already have
in place.
We already have federal police force. You got the FBI, you got the Marshal Service, and you see especially with that fella getting grilled by our congressman, how corrupt FBI has gotten. I mean, it's,
Well, he was pretty cocky, wasn't he?
yeah, smirking, and I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the third thing, technocracy.
Okay, you have to take
that
that.
bothered
area.
me. Yeah, that bothered me.
That
most
really
of
bothered
all.
me. And I'm gonna read what the definition of it is
You
before we start.
okay, Dana, give us a definition of technocracy and spell it for me if you
Okay,
can.
it's TECHNOCRACY,
Technocracy.
and it's announced the government or control of society or industry by an elite of technical experts.
All right.
An instance or application of technocracy, an elite and technical experts. So they control everything
All right. They're
in a
saying,
technocracy.
they're saying that's what China is now.
They're saying
They're
China
not
is that right
communist.
now.
Yeah,
And it said, and in the video that we watched, it said that Apple has just done a marriage with China on this
And
kind of stuff.
One thing that bothered me most of all, they came up with this technology.
In the United States.
Yeah, in the United States years ago. All right. Well, they couldn't do it because it's illegal here. So they sent it to China. China said, we'll take it and do it. So everything you buy, everywhere you go, everywhere you check in, China takes all this information, and they just gather all this information. And then if you step out of line, if you've been going left your whole life and decide to go right, they're going to call you on it. Hold up. Why are you going right? You've been going left. You better get back in line.
Oh, yeah,
and they're
yeah.
calling it social engineering.
Yeah.
Right.
So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, these people are the people who are based off of statistics. This person here has been getting too close, out of line. Looks like they get ready to commit a crime.
Right. So they're going to get you before you
They're
even
going to
do it.
stop you before you go to commit a crime.
Right.
Wow. I wonder if they can do that on the border. They're
No.
getting ready to cross the border.
No, they
They
won't
can
do
stop
it.
you before you get across, coming up to the border.
And Pastor, you probably know
You
a
gotta
lot
have
about
one of
this.
them
I don't know a
ID
lot
cards.
about technology, but they were talking about how cameras everywhere and everything in our homes are able to record you and you tell it and all this kind of stuff. But they talked a lot about the 5G
yes.
And how fast
and how
it's
fast
gonna
it
be.
is and real time. And this guy was saying, because she wanted to know. She said, "How far away are we from this? You think?" And he says, "Maybe just a few years.
Yeah,
from
five-
complete."
5G is already in a lot of I mean, my router is already set up for 2.4
Right,
gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And that 5 gigahertz is to be lightning fast. Like it's like this here. When you go down and buy a computer or you go down and buy a router, you could buy 2.4 gigahertz or 5.6 or 5.0. I think it's 5.6 gigahertz. Is that what it says? 5.6? That's what's coming through my mind. Anyway, you can get that 5 gigahertz router. And so what that means, it is, it's moving at 5 gigabits per second speed versus 2.4 gigabits per second. So it's like twice as fast, 3 times as fast. But the thing is that it would be lightning fast. When you get a gigabit card in your computer, that's your router card. It's like they want to sell all these new routers and everything. But if you have an older computer that doesn't have the 1 gigabit card in it, doesn't matter. I mean, you're buying this router, it ain't gonna work in your computer.
Right.
But the newest computers coming out is 1 gigabit router cards. That 1 gigabit router card can handle a lot of this new stuff that's coming. So when we're getting this technology through the wireless systems, a lot of this stuff has not been tested yet.
Right.
And that's where they're talking about this 5 gigahertz. This
They don't
5
know how
gigahertz.
dangerous.
It is 5 gigahertz. Not understanding whether or not it's going to be able to affect people mentally.
Right.
Isn't that what they were talking
Yes,
about?
they were.
And being able to use things, but it would be lightning speed wireless devices in your homes to where it used to have to worm its way up through stuff. Now you're going to start seeing stuff instantaneous. I mean, boom, when you ask for something, it's there.
Right.
It's like all your stuff you talked about in your refrigerators. All your refrigerator, this is crazy.
In your washer and dryer.
Your washer and dryer is a wireless washer and dryer to where it speaks to you, it talks to you.
And you can tell it to start washing or dry or
Well, I
whatever.
mean, my car does that. It tells me when it's ready for oil change and any,
all of this stuff. And any of these things that when you start going through the Alexis or you're going through the Echo or any of these type things of home automation systems, when we start moving into that area to where things is lightning speed, it comes to the point to where and I'm getting ready to step off into the land of the supernatural. Then it comes to the point to where is this technology that we're seeing, is it demonic?
Right.
And has a spirit, a demon, actually entered in now into this technology? Now, I personally believe that's what's coming.
Right.
Is that we call them magic boxes. This goes in, this comes out. They don't know what happens in the middle. They know when they apply this happens. I mean, that's just how they start looking at this technology. Of course, I know they've got some way that they're going to explain it, but a lot of it comes to the point to where now they have devices in your home, and I like the smart devices. I mean, look here. When I start talking about this technology, and in my phone right here, I can control everything at that tower down there.
Right.
And if you can just see the very cheap technology we put in to start, stop, monitor that thing, and even things that goes on in the studio and all, everywhere, and we're using it to do a business
for good.
For doing it for good, but they're turning it around using it.
Yeah, because they're talking about using it to completely suppress society.
Well,
Right.
see,
I mean,
and that's what they said
and
they
the
do in
data,
China.
they use it as a weapon against the people, actually. So I think about that, and I think about when the scripture talks about how knowledge will increase. There has to be, you think about what we think is going to come about, and there has to be a way that all this ties in to make people, for the whole world to be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that techno stuff, they actually have a TV program like that where the computer tells them, okay, you need to go check on this guy because the crime's about to happen to him.
Right. There was a show we used to watch
Yeah, I
about
watch
that.
it
What
all
was
the
it
time.
called? I
I
don't
can't
even remember
remember,
now. But
Jesus.
it was a computer that
Jesus
told
played
it,
it.
something's going on. You need to go here now because they're fixing to. It was like, and you think, oh, that's so science fiction. That'll never
No, that's
happen.
what's happening. That's getting ready to happen.
And so
Already happened.
we think about all these things. So listen, I encourage those of you, technocracy. Go, and I think it's technocracynews.news or something like that. Just look it up
just
Watch
web
out
it,
for it.
web it up.
and web it up and read about it. It is amazing.
Gerald,
some
what
of
you
the
thinking
stuff.
about?
I'm trying to absorb it, just trying to make sure, maybe I was really kind of listening to see what was the Lord going to tell me about it, but I'm just listening. One of the things I do get, I know back in the 70s and stuff when, these 70s movies that were out that were supposedly science fiction and all that,
right.
it might be time to revisit that because those are kind of like I guess they had foresight wherever they got it from as to what was coming.
Right.
And now we can try to look at now and say this is where we're at now and what were they saying about the future and what was supposed to be coming.
What you got, Dan?
They're saying, it's called Technocracy Rising, and they've got a thing here. It's called the 2030 Agenda, and you need to check it out and just see what it talks about. And you can see the United Nations flag, and then let's see, what is it? Commitment to the agenda, and I mean, I can't pronounce this guy's name, so
If Trump does nothing but get us out of the UN, that would be wonderful.
but they're trying to push for it and saying if it's sustainable development and 2030, the 2030 agenda, that both of them are technocrats, and China is the leading example of technocracy in the world, and they're trying to push this back in the United States.
And what they said was that a lot of this technology was not legal in the United States when it was first formed.
They sent it to
So they sent it to
China.
China perfected it.
And China makes most of our TVs,
Yeah.
computers. They're putting it.
Putting
it's
everything in
here.
there. It's ready.
It's not a conspiracy. It's real.
I say all those smart TVs, they're really smart.
Yeah, they're smart.
They smart. They're recording a lot more than what you think.
Yeah.
The 2030 Agenda and Agenda 21 says the UN is using federal public-private partnerships as a Trojan horse for global politics.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so it's a lot to check into. You
Is
need
it
to read
really
up
supernatural? I believe it is.
I believe it is.
Do I believe this is the strings of the Antichrist?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe that's what you're listening to right now. That's happening for me. And it's an amazing time to be alive. Isn't it
It
exciting?
absolutely is.
I do not say sever yourself from technology.
Right.
Because there's no way you
can't.
can get away from it.
You can't.
I mean, if you get in your car and drive down the road, you don't even know what your car's got in it.
Right.
They know
That's
where you're.
true.
I mean,
They can find you just by your car.
I'm driving down the road and my oil hand goes up to 80. Okay, of course it's something that's failed, and I just pushed the button there and I said, "Hey, it's not Siri. It's what's the name of that thing?
North Star.
North Star. I said, can you run diagnostics on my car? Make sure everything's all right. And I said, you have any lights on there? Are you traveling down the road? Yes. And they says, okay, here we go. And they will come right back on a minute. Said, no, all your stuff checks out right. Your car's okay. You'll be all right.
Thank you.
You're driving on down the road. There it is. I mean, that's the kind of technology we have right now, and that's in old cars.
Right.
That's in old stuff.
That's OnStar's been around for a long
OnStar.
time.
Yeah.
OnStar, not North Star is the engine.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was the
OnStar.
Cadillacs. Those were
Yeah.
the Cadillac North Stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the kind of stuff that we have right now. Okay, guys, we're going to have to get on out of here.
Wow, that hour just zoomed by in us. I mean, a flash.
Well, if you like to extend, it's really supernatural 2 hours. Then what you have to do is go to WCC 999. Go there. And what you got to do is hit the donate button for Belize for Henry Schaefer and just say want to give towards Henry Schaefer, and we'll think about that 2 hour shows that you're talking about.
But we do want
Another
to thank the
sponsor.
sponsors of It's
sponsor.
Really
There we
Supernatural,
go.
which is Whippoorwill Farms,
Tell them all
the
about it.
Munzbergs, and
Lee Moore.
Lee Moore
Pools.
Pools. Yeah. So we got some awesome sponsors of the program, and
Yes,
we're so
we do.
thankful. Yes. So guys, go and check out what 3 words.
Yeah, what number 3
The number 3 words, Real ID,
Real ID,
and
which is
technocracy.com, and go and just look. I mean, go and look, and you will be astounded at all
take your
this
driver's
stuff.
license out and look, see if you got a star with a circle.
Well,
around
I
it.
think in order to do that, Paige
You would
said
know, I guess.
you would know because you have to take in your birth certificate, your Social Security card, and a bill or something that shows your address,
proof of where you live at.
of where you live.
Talk about
Yeah.
this March for Jesus up right here.
Oh yeah, and so we got coming up, guys, downtown Augusta on August the 18th,
Yep.
from 8 to 12 is the March for Jesus. You do not want to miss it. Please visit them at marchforjesusaugusta.com. Plan on being there. It's going to be a great time, fun and fellowship as we march down Broad Street for Jesus.
18.
That's right. Thanks
Go
for
ahead.
joining us on It's Really Supernatural tonight, guys.
All right, Gerald, go ahead and say goodbye. We got a few minutes here.
Good night, CSRA. Thank you for listening. It's
Thank
really
you for
supernatural.
Yeah, thank you for listening. God bless.
Well, here we go. We out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to It's Really Supernatural. I've been your host, Henry Schaefer. God bless you. I'm Henry Schaefer, and I want to thank you for listening to It's Really Supernatural program. Now tune in next week for more Acts of the Holy Spirit.